Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of TFP. My name is Sister, and as always, I am so happy to see you guys. So, what will I be doing in this video? I will be talking about the Galleon, the historical accuracy of it, how it is in the game, and what it was used for historically. And I'll be doing one of these for each of the ships in CFPs, as well as one for the pirate in general. And how people have a general misconception of what a pirate really is. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. So, the Galleon, or as it is originally now pronounced as it was originally in friendship, Galleon, is a heavy warship type of vessel. However, the Galleon wasn't necessarily used for war, it could also be used for troop transport, but that generally was more of the brigantine's job. So, before we go on down that lane, let's head on to talking about this whole ship in general. First of all, let's jump in the water so you can see how deep it lays. As you can see, if we dive down, it is laying pretty deep in the water, and that is because it's a heavier ship and then it's a bigger ship. That is also historically correct, the design. Now, normally galleons were designed to be used for multiple actions, therefore a large hull. So they had room for a large cargo. And therefore you find two rooms of cargo. First line here would usually be where that would have been if it were a man of war equipped galleon. It would have had cannons here, but also had the crew sleeping and living down here. While the captain, of course, slept and lived in his quarters with his own little private getaway. Now, but you see, if it had more cannons than it has now, it has here in Sea of Thieves, it were a war vessel. It was a man of war and therefore a vessel of war. Second, the amount of cannons you see on the Galleon in Sea of Thieves indicates that it is tailored after the merchant loadout. That is right, the Galleon could be a merchant vessel. Meaning, of course it had cannons to defend itself, but it was mainly protected by other ships, such as sloop and brigantine, but I'll get into those, their role and such things in their separate videos. So, the Galleon. As you can see, it has 3 sails, which is historically correct for the British design. As the French design had a smaller sail tail to here that moved, like this one couldn't move. It was a stationary one, and it was meant to stabilize the ship. While the English version, as became the more common European version of it, were tailed out like this, 3 masts, movable and everything. Now, the Galleon, historically, the Galleon had 3 sails for a reason. Reason 1, it was a heavy ship and not one sail could move it. If the wind was blew hard enough, sure it could, but it would move it very fast. So, when it comes to that, the Galleon wasn't quite as fast as it is in Sea of Thieves, so that is where the first historical inaccuracy arrives. If it were to be historically correct, this ship should actually be the slowest ship in the game. However, it can pack a punch, which is historically correct because of the amount of cannons that it can take a beating, historically correct again, based on the amount, based on its big hull and big size. Now, if we just put down the sails, first off we'll take one sail, try and see if we can catch the wind here. There we go. Okay, so I'll go down here, quickly pull up the anchor. Well, as quickly as I can, because right now I'm soloing it, but it's just for this video, so don't ever attempt this. Whenever you play Sea of Thieves, you can solo a galleon, never 3-mana galleon or 2-mana galleon. Always be 4 people when on a galleon. Because it's too much to do and you can't handle it on your own. Now, as I was saying, historically, it makes sense in Sea of Thieves that we have these 2 harpoons. As, well, it is needed, but it's not something that was historically correct. So, let's just turn the ship into the wind a little bit better. I will have to turn. At some point. When I say I will have to turn, it will be the sails I will have to turn. Again, this is just to show you the speed. So, let's just... There, that should do it. Okay, good. So let's catch the wind. Because, as I said, this is the fastest ship in Sea of Thieves, which is historically incorrect and should be, in my opinion, and probably to everybody else's opinion, well, except for those that always sails again, be changed. Now as you can see, we're catching a pretty decent speed, however historically this wouldn't be possible. We would be able to move at the speed we're moving at currently if we had 2 sails. But now you can see, in Sea of Thieves, we're actually moving faster. Especially if we catch the wind perfectly. With that being said and done, let's go ahead and put on the last sail. And we're gonna hit a rock here. It doesn't matter if we hit that rock. Because we have no use for it. For the ship, as I'm only trying to tell you something historically correct here. So, the Galleon as the merchant vessel would, of course, carry cargo and such. And why aren't we turning? Now we're turning, that's good. Okay, so, and we're taking water, I know that. But that doesn't matter. So, the Galleon, as you can see, moves pretty fast now. Faster than you would ever be able to catch it if you were dumb enough to jump in the water and you had no crew steering it. The Galleon in Sea of Thieves is the fastest ship alive. And it is quite honestly, if you ask me, a ship that should be remodeled. Well, not remodeled, but tampered with, nerfed, so it becomes the slowest ship, both against wind and with the wind. Because if we are to be historical correct, we're not taking any water. I find that kind of weird. You know just as well as I had that with souls. Oh, they're up here. Well, okay. Never mind then. And let's just fix it to make it look better. Anyways. The Galleon was historically fitted with more sails because of its heavy weight and size and big size. It couldn't move without them. So that's why, when it comes to the historical aspect of it, the Galleon is not perfectly fitted in Sea of Thieves. You need this whole thing to actually be nerfed in speed, so it becomes the slowest ship in the game. Because it having the highest amount of people makes sense, since you will need more people to operate it. Successfully. But also, the Galleon should be the slowest because, historically correct, it would have been. As a merchant vessel, it would have been used to carry cargo, as I said. But it could also be and cargo could have been many things in the historical times. It could be slaves, it could be animals, it could be passengers, it could be gold, it could be spices and our food supplies and such. So, in general, this is correctly set up. However, this thing here with the plank was not historically correct, even for pirate ships. The pirates would have a plank they could force the out of, and if they did, which is more of a movie thing than a actually thing from pirate, the plank would have been the last ditch effort of the Galleon to get rid of someone, especially if you were in the wrong and you had to execute someone fast. You could leave them in the water and hope for them to die before anyone could catch you, and if people, well, attacked you, demanded you delivered back that person you had kidnapped, you quite literally say, well, I'm sorry to say it, he's not on board, he fell off. As you can see, we've been in a rough storm and we were unfortunate to lose some men. Him amongst others. So asking of you what we want to use him for is therefore none happening. So the Galleon, historically correct, yes. In terms of looking like the merchant vessel, with the added feature here of the harpoons, which historically wasn't there. And the historical correctness of this hull and British design with the sails and such. So you guys, I hope you found this informative, and I look forward to showing you the next ship in the next video, where we'll be looking at the sloop. So until then, have a good one. Goodbye.